larger than life. But at first, I didn't like him at all.
Puffy, when I first met him, I was making my first album, and he gave me a lot of insight into the music business.
Just like, I just fell in love from right then and there. It was just like the first time I fell in love.
You know, Jennifer, she definitely a bad chick.
Yeah, well, she thinks that of you too. She named you one of the great loves of her life.
Yeah,
was she one of yours too?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Seriously? You know I love you.
People didn't really take it as a serious relationship, but we really loved each other.
But I was still in love with Kim, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't marry Jennifer if I was still in love with Kim.
And they released like hundreds of doves, white doves. Did it work? Did you go back with him? No.
Here's the real reason P. Diddy refused to marry Jennifer Lopez. Their relationship came to such a dramatic end, but Diddy has refused to marry J-Lo because he said he was still in love with his ex Kim Porter, because he preferred non-traditional relationships, and because of the nightclub incident. Probably also because deep down, J-Lo must have known that Diddy was a monster. J-Lo and Diddy were once one of the most talked about couples in their entertainment world, but their relationship came to a wild end. For years, fans speculated why the two never made it to the altar, despite their high-profile romance. Diddy's explanation was that he couldn't marry Jenny because he was still in love with his ex, Kim Porter. This reason, it still raises eyebrows from a lot of people. A lot of people think that Diddy is actually the reason for Kim Porter's passing because she was apparently going to write a tell-all book. They met on the set of her 1999 music video, If You Had My Love, and soon became one of Hollywood's most talked about couples. They publicly announced their relationship at the 1999 MTV Video Music Awards, and the buzz surrounding them continued to grow. However, their relationship lasted only until 2001, ending shortly after a notorious nightclub incident in New York City. Jenny was reportedly shaken up by the experience, which included spending 12 hours in jail, and this was the icing on the cake that led to their split. In a rare public interview, Diddy explained that he couldn't commit to Jenny because of unresolved feelings for Kim Porter, former model and the mother of his children. He said, "I got caught up in the hype," referring to his whirlwind romance with J-Lo, but he confessed, "I was still in love with Kim." Kim, who dated Diddy on and off for over a decade, had her own thoughts on his relationship with Jenny, calling it a mere hype in a candid interview. Diddy's relationship with Kim Porter was complicated yet enduring. They began dating in 1994, several years before he met Jenny. Together they had 2 children. They remained connected even after multiple breakups and reconciliations. Kim was pretty frank about her feelings about J-Lo and Diddy dating. She believed that her relationship with Diddy was deeper than his high-profile romance with J-Lo, basically dismissing it as not real. According to Kim, he just got caught up in the hype. My man is Mr. Hype. She felt that Diddy was swayed by J-Lo's public appeal and fame rather than a genuine, meaningful connection. Kim's words reveal her belief that Diddy's attraction to J-Lo was based on the glamour and the spotlight of her celebrity status. She talked about the downfall of their own relationship, partly to this attraction, implying that it was more about image than true love. Despite their split, Diddy and Kim shared a lasting bond that complicated his relationship with J-Lo and many other women. Though Diddy gave his reason for not marrying Jenny as lingering love for Kim, he didn't let go of the relationship so easily. After their breakup, Diddy reportedly tried to win J-Lo back with grand public gestures. Former Bad Boy Records intern Damian Vasquez recalled that Diddy instructed staff members to display signs outside MTV's TRL studios, hoping J-Lo would see his attempt to reconcile. He used all the means within his reach to patch things up, even if his efforts came across as excessive. However, J-Lo remained firm, feeling emotionally drained from the relationship. Reflecting on her time with Diddy, she admitted that him stepping out on the relationship caused a lot of drama. She told Vibe magazine, "I never caught him, but I just knew." She added that she would go nuts whenever he failed to return from his late night outings. Her gut feelings about him grew over time, ultimately leading to the relationship's end. Despite his passionate relationships, Diddy has never been married, a choice he openly embraced before he went to jail. In a 2018 appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Diddy shared his perspective on marriage, admitting that he wasn't ready for the responsibilities as it entails.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing of I think you have to be ready for it.
It's somebody else's heart involved, he explained, emphasizing the weight of a marriage commitment. Diddy mentioned his preference for a love contract rather than a formal marriage, drawing inspiration from the long-term partnership between Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. He joked about making such a commitment with money involved too, to ensure clarity in case of a breakup. In his view, a contractual relationship avoids legal complications while still expressing dedication. His reluctance to commit to Jenny or any of his other partners suggests a pattern of avoiding traditional relationships in in favor of arrangements that allow him personal freedom. Freedom to take advantage of as many people as he wants, I guess. Adding another layer to the story, J-Lo's first husband, Ojani Noah, publicly claimed that Diddy played a role in the end of their marriage. He alleged that the closeness between J-Lo and Diddy during the production of her debut album on the 6th contributed to their split. J-Lo's career was taking off, and her connection with Diddy added some drama. Ojani stated that part of the divorce was Diddy's fault, pointing to J-Lo's collaborations with Diddy during the album's creation. This marked only the beginning of J-Lo's highly publicized love life. After her split from Diddy, she married Chris Judd, a backup dancer, in 2001. The marriage ended in 2003, and soon after, J-Lo was romantically linked to singer Marc Anthony. Her relationship with Diddy remained a prominent chapter in her life, as it was marked by both personal growth and complicated drama. It's a good thing that she escaped, eh? Or she could have ended up like Kim Porter. Now fast forward to the present, Diddy finds himself in the spotlight once again, this time due to the legal stuff that's going on. This has prompted many to re-examine his past relationships, including the one with Jennifer Lopez. And J-Lo has made significant strides in her career since the breakup with Diddy. Reflections on the relationship reveal the impact it had on her. In her recent documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, she compared past relationships to her current one, implying that her time with Diddy brought so much craziness. For his part, Diddy has continued to speak warmly of J-Lo even in the years following their split. He famously praised her in 2014, saying she was the most incredible behind in the world, reigniting conversations about their past romance. Diddy's explanation for why he couldn't marry Jennifer Lopez may never fully make sense to people. His admission that he was still in love with Kim Porter highlights the complexity of his romantic life and the stuff he faced in maintaining stable relationships. Kim's perspective, meanwhile, portrays Diddy as someone caught between his own hype and genuine feelings. For Jennifer Lopez, her relationship with Diddy was a learning experience that she since reflected on. Though she's gone on to marry other partners, her time with Diddy stands as a unique chapter in her life. Ultimately, Diddy's statement about choosing not to marry J-Lo reflects more about his ideas of commitment and complex romantic entanglements than about any one relationship. All in all, their story is a reminder of the personal drama celebrities navigate, even as they appear glamorous on the surface. Diddy's lingering love for Kim Porter, his reluctance to marry, and J-Lo's continued success all contribute to an enduring fascination with their relationship, leaving people to wonder what might have been.
First, I didn't like him at all, you know? I didn't. I thought he was like...
Years ago, Jennifer Lopez exposed Diddy as a cheater, but no one listened. Today, we're going to be looking at their past relationship and some of the things that she had to say.
Sean and I were very different that way, you know.
After Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy's breakup in 2001, Jennifer never held back and was honest about talking why the relationship ended. In an interview with Vibe magazine in 2003, J-Lo said that P. Diddy cheated on her. Coupled with the allegations, it really doesn't shine a positive light on him at all. She said that he would often go clubbing and stay out all night without coming back home. She explained, "I had to think, do I want to be home with kids in 10 years wondering where somebody is at 3 in the morning? It was the first time I was with someone who wasn't faithful. I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts. It really took my whole life on a tailspin."
You know, just one of those breakups that really, you know, it was like a tough one for me.
In an interview with CBS, J-Lo talked about Diddy helping with her music career. While it makes sense that she said that he supported her and showed her the ropes, it seems unlikely that J-Lo would say this now, knowing the allegations against Diddy. Pepe Weintraub, who is a celebrity insider and famous TikToker, weighed in on this. What he had to say was, "I think Jennifer Lopez is always right. People should have listened to her, and now look what happened. The effects of what P. Diddy has done are being felt around the world, and honestly, it's crazy that no one listened to Jennifer Lopez in the first place."
Because I didn't think much of myself, and so the world didn't think much of me.
While some people wonder if Jennifer Lopez was talking about Diddy in her documentary The Greatest Love Story Never Told when she mentioned being in an abusive relationship in the past. But she's never said that this is what their relationship was like. In 2014, P. Diddy talked about Jennifer Lopez's behind, which was definitely awkward. According to the Daily Mail, he said, "It's great, it's a work of art, it's something that will go down in history for real." When a reporter asked J-Lo about this quote during an interview with Access Hollywood, she praised his music career and said, "He gave me so many cues and taught me so many things."
I have decided to tell my story that I've never shared with anybody in the world.
What she said was, "We had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship that ended in a bang, let's say. It was definitely a moment, but I felt like it was necessary. Like, He was meant to be in my life at the moment to teach me what I needed to know about this music business, about what kind of artist I wanted to be in the music industry. Well, at the time of this video, Jennifer Lopez has not commented on the allegations against P. Diddy or his house raids. She was in the news again because of an incident at a club in 1999. According to Forbes, Jennifer Lopez was in a club December 1999 with P. Diddy and his mentee Jamal Shine Barrow and bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones when a fight broke out. A trial took place and Jones and Diddy didn't end up going to jail. They were acquitted. However, Barrow spent 9 years in prison. The New York Post reported that sources said that Jennifer Lopez didn't face any charges, was in jail for 14 hours, and then she went home. As Forbes reported, the incident involving P. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez became relevant again because Rodney Lil Rod Jones sued Cuba Gooding Jr. and Diddy for SA. According to the lawsuit, Jones said Diddy shared that he was responsible for the incident in the nightclub in New York with rapper Shine. The case is also getting attention again because one of the victims, Natania Rubin, said, "I'm willing to have a doctor remove part of the 9mm bullet in my face so they can use it as evidence if need be for this trial." As the New York Post reported in March 2024, Rodney Jones said in his lawsuit against Diddy, J-Lo carried the firearm into the club for him and passed him the firearm after he got into an altercation with another individual. But there's no confirmation that this actually happened. In 2000, Jennifer Lopez talked about the incident in an interview with Elle and said, "It was a complete nightmare from beginning to end. I was scared in the car. I had absolutely no idea what was going on."
Explicit photos of J-Lo and Diddy have just leaked onto the internet. There are many screenshots.
Jennifer Lopez photos and history with P. Diddy get leaked. Jennifer Lopez has a long storied history with P. Diddy, one that not many people may know. She was at his white parties, she dated him for a while, and it may go even deeper. J-Lo may know a bit more about his situation than most.
So much of my past.
Before Diddy became the subject of federal investigations, he was known for throwing legendary white parties in the Hamptons, hosting the biggest stars of the time in glamorous summer gatherings that embodied the peak of early 2000s celebrity culture. Photos from these parties resurfacing after his recent arrest show a variety of familiar faces mingling at his mansion in East Hampton.
Controversy surrounding Puffy and J-Lo. A couple of resurfaced photos from Puffy's.
The scene was filled with everyone from rising teen idols to fashion industry royalty, all dressed in iconic white outfits. And one of the most talked about photos from these parties shows Diddy lounging on an enormous white bed surrounded by pillows right next to his then girlfriend, the one and only Jennifer Lopez. This couple wasn't just a photo op. They were dating on and off between 1999 and 2001, during a pivotal moment in both of their careers. Their relationship became as much of a headline as their individual successes.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all.
That July 2000 white party, like many of Diddy's events, was packed with a who's who of Hollywood and the music world. They were photographed alongside Kimora Lee Simmons and her then husband, Russell Simmons, as well as actors like Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. The iconic singer Aaliyah was also there, as was Leonardo DiCaprio, who at 25 was captured relaxing with Diddy and a few friends, sipping champagne in true Hampton style. J-Lo and Diddy's relationship, even outside of these parties, was always marked by a certain undeniable chemistry.
I didn't like him because Sean and I were very different that way, you know.
They weren't just a power couple in terms of fame. They were making waves in each other's professional lives too. At the time, J-Lo was skyrocketing to fame with hits like her debut album On the Six, which Diddy had a hand in producing. They were both at career highs, but their romance was known for its ups and downs, with the pair breaking up and reconciling multiple times. Their bond seemed intense and glamorous, but as many high-profile romances go, it also had its darker moments. Their relationship took a particularly dramatic turn in December 1999 when the couple was involved in a high-profile nightclub incident that would end up shaping both of their lives in unexpected ways. The pair had been out for the night in New York City when an argument erupted between Jamal Shine Barrow, a young rapper mentored by Diddy, and members of J-Lo's security team. Before anyone knew it, the altercation escalated, resulting in a situation that left 3 people injured. When the police arrived on the scene, Diddy and J-Lo made an attempt to leave the scene behind, but they were soon stopped by law enforcement. A search of their car revealed a stolen self-defense object, leading to the immediate arrest of both J-Lo and Diddy. The aftermath of that night was crazy. J-Lo was released without charges, but the whole thing left a mark. For Diddy, however, the consequences were more serious. He faced a lot of legal stuff related to the incident, though he ultimately managed to avoid jail time. Reflecting on the impact of this night years later, J-Lo shared how odd and overwhelming it was to be caught up in such a situation. In an interview with Elle, she described it as a nightmare, recalling that she was scared and had no idea what was unfolding around her. J-Lo and Diddy's relationship didn't survive much longer after the nightclub incident, though it certainly left a mark on both of their lives. Their breakup was another headline maker, with J-Lo later opening up about the toll it took on her. In a 2003 interview with Vibe, she shared that her relationship with Diddy was the first time she'd ever been with someone who wasn't faithful, and she didn't hold back on describing the impact. "I was in this relationship with Puff where I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts." She said, "It really sent my whole life into a tailspin. It was a painful period for her, one that showed the sometimes chaotic side of the celebrity lifestyle." Interestingly, Diddy wasn't the only person connected to J-Lo's music career who played a role in her personal life. Her first husband, Ojani Noah, also has a complicated connection to Diddy. Noah and J-Lo were married briefly between 1997 and 98, before her rise to mega stardom. But years later, Noah suggested that Diddy played a part in their split. He opened up during an interview with Despierta America, sharing his thoughts on how he believes Diddy's influence impacted his and J-Lo's marriage. According to Noah, things started to change when J-Lo began working on her debut album, On the 6, with Diddy as one of the producers. He felt the distance between them growing as she was traveling between New York, Miami, and other locations for her career, while he stayed in Los Angeles working on his own projects. In Noah's words, that's when he started noticing the deception and the lies that would eventually contribute to the end of their marriage. While they'd been working hard to balance their relationship, the pressures of fame and success proved to be difficult to manage. The fallout from his split with J-Lo continued to affect Noah's life even after their relationship ended. During the same interview, he reflected on how he believes J-Lo's actions post-divorce impacted his career. He said she had taken him to court, accused him of things he hadn't done, and even reached out to various companies and networks, which he claims led to lost job opportunities. He expressed frustration over the situation, wondering why she would go to such lengths when he felt he hadn't done anything to warrant that treatment. Meanwhile, J-Lo has kept her comments on Diddy's recent legal issues to a minimum. While the two certainly have a lot of history, both personally and professionally, she hasn't spoken out regarding the current investigations or his arrest. Given the tumultuous nature of their relationship and the highs and lows they experienced together, it's understandable that she might want to keep her distance from any fresh discussion surrounding him. Still, it's hard to ignore the lasting impact their time together has had on pop culture. The images from Diddy's iconic white parties, like the one of him and J-Lo on that lavish bed, are a reminder of the larger-than-life moments that defined the celebrity scene at the time. These parties weren't just gatherings, they were events that represented the glamour and excess of a particular era in Hollywood, and Diddy, for all the good and bad, was at the center of it. The reason Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz are scared of Diddy.
J-Lo and her involvement with Diddy, what do we know? I wish J-Lo herself would come out and say what she knows.
Everyone is aware of what Diddy is capable of, and it is so disheartening to think that Cameron Diaz could have been at the hands of Diddy at one point.
J-Lo dated Diddy, and now she wants nothing to do with him.
At first, I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like...
You'd think their relationship would mean she would at least talk about his charges, right?
Federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody.
Well, as it turns out, she might want to steer clear of him because he might have some dirt on her she doesn't want the world to know.
Many are noticing the silence of Jennifer Lopez.
It's even possible that J-Lo told Cameron Diaz that if she wanted her career to survive this, then she should steer clear too. The recent arrest of Sean Diddy Combs has cast a shadow over some of his closest celebrity acquaintances, including Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz.
Jennifer, do you think Diddy deserves to be in jail?
With a list of charges and over 120 lawsuits allegedly tied to his name, the situation has become a public spectacle. For years, Diddy's lavish parties attracted some of Hollywood's biggest names, and these gatherings are now at the center of discussion as they're rumored to have hosted troubling incidents. Since his arrest, a noticeable silence has come over his celebrity friends. Most former associates have steered clear, avoiding any statements that could link them to his troubles, a calculated distance believed to be crucial for preserving their careers. It's not just a reputation issue. Sources say some celebrities, including Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz, are concerned about possible details Diddy might share. According to an insider who spoke to In Touch Weekly, there's a legitimate fear among a huge swath of people in Hollywood, J-Lo and Cameron included, that he could seriously seriously embarrass them if he decides to talk about what they shared with him back in the day, which was pretty intimate. Their hands are tied. It's not like they can reach out to him, and showing any kind of support for him is out of the question.
None of Diddy's friends are stepping up to defend him because they're all currently planning their escape.
So all they can do is hope and pray he keeps his mouth shut. This atmosphere of unease has reportedly caused a stir among former partygoers, who wonder just how much Diddy has on record. Diddy's legendary bashes drew some of the most famous faces from across the entertainment industry. Throughout the years, A-listers would flock to his events with appearances from actors, musicians, and influencers alike. The guest list included top names in hip-hop, pop, film, and sports. Celebrities such as Beyonce, Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, Usher, and even Madonna were often spotted at Diddy's gatherings, drawn by the promise of glamorous entertainment and non-stop fun. These parties were designed to be exclusive, giving stars a break from the spotlight while enjoying a unique environment that catered to their taste for privacy and luxury. Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz were known to attend these parties as well. Both actresses were close to Diddy at various points in their lives. J-Lo famously dated him for a time in the late 1990s.
It was just like the first time I fell in love, like love at first sight.
During that era, the two were practically inseparable, making headlines as a power couple in the music and entertainment world. Even after their romantic relationship ended, Jennifer Lopez and Diddy maintained a cordial public relationship for years. Meanwhile, Cameron Diaz was rumored to have had a friendly relationship with the rapper as well, occasionally appearing at industry events where he was present. Rumors surrounding Diddy's infamous freak-off parties started to gain traction after his arrest. Allegedly, these were no ordinary Hollywood bashes. They were gatherings where the stakes were much higher and the rules were more relaxed. The New York Post reported that these parties were often after parties for major events, like the VMAs, and would carry on until the early morning hours at Diddy's mansion. One such alleged after party was held following a major awards show where guests, including recognizable faces from music, fashion, and acting, moved from the public venue to Diddy's private residence.
Take a picture. Something like this only happens once in a lifetime.
It was during these late-night gatherings that things reportedly took a more extravagant and less controlled turn. Inside sources claim that guests were treated to extensive entertainment options, all within a secluded environment where they were free to enjoy themselves away from the public eye.
Bag of oof for the mutts, 5 carrots on my head.
However, recent investigations have suggested that some of these parties might have crossed certain lines, involving activities that now raised questions about what went on behind closed doors. With news of potential recordings from these parties, some stars who once attended have reportedly grown concerned.
Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird memory lane stuff.
Some former party attendees fear that the details from these gatherings may surface in the legal proceedings. Although no one is directly implicated, there's speculation that video evidence might hint at certain behaviors that many celebrities would prefer to keep out of the public eye. The New York Post added fuel to the rumors by claiming that some tapes featured partygoers who seemed to be enjoying themselves to the fullest. But the new context has raised concerns about what's on those recordings and who might be identifiable in them. The prospect of old videos or recordings making the rounds has reportedly created a stir among former attendees, with some individuals like Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz being particularly concerned. Their connection to Diddy has always been public, making it more difficult to avoid any association with his current legal stuff. For stars like them, distancing themselves is about protecting their careers and reputations, especially since any mention of their attendance at these parties might complicate things for them personally and professionally. These parties weren't just ordinary gatherings. They were well-planned events known for their glamour and excess.
To watch over us as a people, as a family.
Diddy's parties were designed to be unforgettable, bringing together luxury entertainment and a curated guest list of high-profile individuals. The atmosphere was electric, complete with gourmet catering, live performances, and whatever it took to create a memorable experience. Stars from nearly every corner of the entertainment world would attend, and for many, it was a chance to relax, network, and let loose from any prying eyes. But with these new allegations, the perception of these once coveted invitations has changed dramatically. Many now view the memories from Diddy's parties with mixed feelings. What was once seen as a safe, elite gathering space now feels clouded by discussion. And while many celebrities once saw Diddy's gatherings as the pinnacle of exclusive Hollywood nightlife, there's a sense of apprehension now about how these events might be remembered in light of current accusations. With all the attention now on the possible content of these recordings, Hollywood's elite may feel uneasy about what could be revealed if certain details came to light. As the legal cases unfold, Hollywood is watching closely to see what information might surface. For stars like Jennifer Lopez and Cameron Diaz, the concern is as much about privacy as it is about maintaining their public images. They aren't the only ones. A large number of individuals have kept their distance from Diddy since his arrest, likely out of an abundance of caution. Celebrities' relationships with him have been friendly, but aligning with him now carries risks that few are willing to take. In an industry where reputation is everything, these latest developments are a reminder that past associations can have unexpected consequences. For now, Lopez, Diaz, and others are staying silent, with fingers crossed that no damaging revelations come to light. Hollywood's A-list knows well that even attending a party could lead to lasting repercussions, especially when someone as high profile as Diddy is involved. Ultimately, as the story continues to unfold, celebrities who once enjoyed Diddy's lavish hospitality are watching carefully, hoping that their involvement remains nothing more than a distant memory.